Well, a bipartisan group of senators is now investigating whether or not the previous Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, may have deliberately slowed down the FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server. Joining us now is Fox News Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge with the latest on that. Catherine?
Tucker, the senators are investigating whether Lynch tried to block the FBI case. The chairman and ranking member writing in this letter they want relevant documents and answers from Lynch about media reports that she would not allow the FBI case into Clinton's mishandling of classified information go too far, and whether those reported assurances were shared with then DNC Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz. During his congressional testimony June 8th, the fired FBI Director James Comey said he went public about the Clinton email case last summer because he lost confidence in Lynch, and in cryptic testimony appeared to reference a vital record.
There were other things that contributed to that. One significant item I know the committee's been briefed on. There's been some public accounts of it which are nonsense, but I understand the committee's been briefed on the classified facts.
Based on our reporting, in July of 2016, Lynch declined to answer questions about the Clinton email case more than 70 times when she went to Congress. Tucker?
Catherine Herridge, thanks a lot for that. John Daniel Davidson is a senior correspondent over at The Federalist, and he joins us now. John, thanks a lot for coming on tonight. So it seems like there is evidence, and we should just stress again, the letter that Catherine was referring to comes from a bipartisan assortment of lawmakers. They seem to have reached a conclusion that Loretta Lynch may have attempted to squelch, or there's evidence she attempted to squelch the investigation into Hillary. Do you think that's a fair conclusion?
Well, yeah, and the main reason I think it's a fair conclusion is because of what James Comey himself said before the Senate Intelligence Committee earlier this month. You know, one of the most remarkable things about his testimony was the part where he talked about how Loretta Lynch told him not to refer to the Clinton email investigation as an investigation and instead told him to call it a matter. And even more remarkable, he challenged her out and said, "Why would I do that?" And she said, "You know, just do it." And then he did it. You know, he complied with her and called it a matter when clearly it was a criminal investigation. So between that and Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton on the tarmac in Phoenix, you know, this is sort of just adding one more thing to a laundry list of signs that Loretta Lynch was trying to squelch the investigation.
Well, here's another. Okay, so the FBI, this comes from that bipartisan letter for Republicans and Democrats. So it's Dianne Feinstein and Chuck Grassley, Lindsey Graham, Sheldon Whitehouse. And it says that the FBI reported to have obtained an email or memo, and I'm quoting now, written by a Democratic operative who expressed confidence that Attorney General Lynch would keep the Clinton investigation from going too far. Now, that's not proof, but it's certainly emitting a strong odor. When is the former Attorney General going to be testifying before the Congress so we can get answers to whether or not this happened?
Well, I think that's exactly what we need. You know, the funny thing about these investigations is you don't know which direction they're going to go once they start. And in this case, I think, you know, there are real questions about, you know, what did Loretta Lynch do? What were the conversations that were held behind closed doors? You know, and we also have, you know, reports or testimony from Jay Johnson, the former director of Department of Homeland Security, saying the Obama administration didn't want to say anything about the Russia probe because they didn't want to seem like they were politicizing the facts. Well, look, the Obama administration politicized everything. I mean, Obama was literally campaigning for Hillary while all this was going on. The only reason they didn't want to talk about this stuff is because they thought it would hurt Hillary or help Trump. So the whole thing has been politicized from the beginning.
It doesn't really make sense, and this is one of the many ways the press has fallen down, I think, on the job recently. So every newspaper and TV channel in America is hyping the idea that Russia hacked our election. And yet the majority of state election officials have testified recently that they heard nothing from the Obama administration about this so-called Russia threat. I haven't read anything about that in the New York Times. That seems like a big story. If this was going on, if our democracy was being subverted by the Russians, why wouldn't the Obama people tell state election officials about it before a presidential election? It doesn't make any sense.
And the funny thing is, there were people in the media that were writing about this last year, as early as April, who saw, you know, signs of Russian troll propaganda operations on social media, who saw signs of, Russia influence operations throughout the election cycle, starting in the spring, going all the way through the summer into the fall. And yet, nothing from the Obama administration, didn't want to acknowledge it, didn't want to politicize the facts that were already out there in some degree. We knew that Russia was trying to influence the election and may have even tried to hack into the election. But again, the motivation here for the Obama administration is what has always been the motivation for the Obama administration, and that is domestic politics. They thought it would hurt Hillary and help Trump if they actually gave credence to what Trump had been saying on the campaign trail, which is, hey, this is rigged. This is a rigged system. Now, obviously, Trump overstates a lot, but he was right about the DNC favoring Hillary Clinton, and, we all saw what the email said. So I think this is a really clear case of the White House and the Attorney General's office politicizing this entire issue.
The net effect is you just wind up believing nobody in any context, and that's the casualty in the end. John, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.